at the halfway point of the match. Let's go to round 5. People.
Hit him with a combination. Follow that right hand with a left hook. When you touch him with that left hand, hit him with the right hand. Left glove.
Some interesting numbers from Punch Profile, Bert, or from Punch.
May I go to the bathroom? Somebody set him over. There's a minor reparation to a glove here, so it'll give us a chance. We just got the returns from upstate. Lawlor has thrown 243 punches through 4 rounds, landing and connecting with 114 of them. On the other hand, Biglen, 195 punches thrown, 3-0 landed, 15%.
And for those of you that have seen the punch counting system before, you know that anything approaching 50% is good, and obviously the 30%, the 15% that Biglen landed is not so good.
I think you're being charitable.
Yeah, we head into round 5, approaching the halfway point in this bout, and Pat Lawlor looks like he's getting serious about ending it right now.
He lifted his foot up off the ground with that last right hand. And when I say he, it's Lawlor, obviously.
Interestingly, though, as he comes forward and lands, Biglen gets a chance to throw some of his own shots and did land a couple of good punches there.
Which might tell you why Lawlor, as a slick fighter, is interested in landing and getting out.
Lawlor slaps quite a bit with his punches. We saw that in that flurry, but
he's now cornered and was hit by a clinch.
Is that possible?
That's all he got out of it. Biglen cornered him and could only get a clinch out of it.
We're in round 5, halfway through. It's Pat Lawlor in the green, Tony Biglen in the blue. Junior middleweights. I'm Al Bernstein along with Bert Sugar. Pedro Fernandez also on hand.
In that last clinch, Lawlor even took time off to talk to Biglen, telling him nice right hand. At which point he clocked him with a left.
And the jabs of Lawlor now are starting to bloody the nose of Biglen and have some impact.
Biglen is trying mightily to get inside. And every time he does, he runs into a left jab and an occasional right hand lead.
Again, the hook gets there by Pat Lawlor. Biglen able to block a lot of those shots, but of course Lawlor has thrown so many more.
And what you have to look at also, Al, is the complete menu of talents that Lawlor has. The ability to tie him up, his defensive skills. When cornered, he can basically negate anything that Biglen is throwing.
Biglen finally getting one of his own jabs in, which when he lands it is a good punch, but it's been very scarce. Pat Lawlor continues his movement mostly to his left.
Nice right. Nice short, crisp right. Lawlor wants him to come in now so he can repeat his kindnesses.
That was probably as good a right hand as Lawlor has thrown in this match. It was straight and he had a lot of leverage on it.
And Biglen's just flicking out his left jab. Hoping against hope there's something on the end of it.
It's round 5, which is winding down. In fact, it has wound down. And we head into the corner of Tony Biglen. Pat Lawlor with some good combinations in the last round. Take a look at it.
There's that right hand that was his best right of the fight, followed by a very nice, crisp left hook.
And Bert, the jab for Lawlor really is the thing that pretty much makes everything work, isn't it?
Here it goes again, that nice left hook. And then he ducks under and hooks underneath as Biglen tries ineffectively to get inside.
Round 5, pretty much the fight in microcosm. Lawlor landing 43 of 65 punches and Biglen landing 10 of 55.
If you're keeping score, that's 66% for Lawlor, a woeful 18% for Biglen.
Not a good showing in terms of accuracy for Tony Biglen. And,
not a good showing in terms of anything.
Well, he's not getting it done here tonight against Pat Lawlor, that's for sure.
Lawlor's a cutie, and when you step up in class, I think the last thing you want to find is a cutie if you're a brawler.
No question that Biglen has had a hard time cornering him, and when he has, he's not been able to hit Pat Lawlor very well. It's round 6. Pat Lawlor continues to land.
Lawlor even got a chuckle out of that last punch. It's like he's telling himself jokes in the ring at the same time.
He is a man who appreciates his work.
And when you say handiwork, this is handiwork. Get the impression that Biglen's only chance is to rough him up, and he's trying a little of that, but even that's not effective.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bert. That would be the strategy he would have to try and employ here, and as you say, that doesn't work too well for him either. Tony Biglen is not a huge puncher himself, so as a result, knockout doesn't look like it's going to happen, and so Pat Lawlor just continues on dominating halfway through round 6 here. Mentioned that Lawlor is 17-1. He has only 5 KOs. And you've seen evidence of the fact that he's not a huge puncher. His last 2 bouts against John Welters and Art Serrano have gone the distance, 12 and 10 round wins. And this one's showing every sign of going the distance unless Lawlor gets something big in, which he
nice
did.
Nice left hook by Lawlor.
Biglen holds on.
But now he backs off. You get the impression that Pat Lawlor has somehow rearranged John L. Sullivan's famous line to, "I can go 10 rounds with any man in the house."
It's like parody on that line here. Of course, that could still mean he could lick anybody in the house. He has to go 10 to do it.
Another good left.
Lawlor comes with the right hand again here at the end of round 6, so he punctuates what for him has been a mirror image of all the other rounds. And that is one in which he has won and dominated. Pat Lawlor
Keep it up.
did what he wanted to in the last round. We see an indication of that here. That was probably the one right hand, Bert, that really got his attention, that really stunned Biglen.
Well, there were several in there, but right after this flurry, Lawlor then retreated again, just so that he wouldn't be anywhere within the ambit of Biglen's punches. There is no doubt that Pat Lawlor is a slick fighter. He is a world-class fighter, and he's just having really his way.
And one of the keys for him, of course, are the jabs. And through 6, Pat Lawlor is putting on a clinic with the jab.
88 for 122. I don't think Michael Jordan from the foul line can be that effective.
I'll tell you, that is a very, very good percentage for jabbing, and it'll make things happen for you. We head into round 7. Pat Lawlor in the green. The fighter from San Francisco is 17-1, and Tony Biglen from Thornton, Colorado, just outside Denver, who comes in with a 15-4-1 record. And thus far, it has been all Pat Lawlor. The first 6 rounds would almost have to be a shutout.
I don't even know why we have to say it was all Pat Lawlor. It was all times 4 Pat Lawlor.
Pat Lawlor cubed, huh?
Something of that ilk. How does 4 become cubed?
Oh, I don't know. If you extend it on, it becomes
If this
cubed.
fight continues this way, I'll have time to sit here, Al, and vote on which of the Elvis stamps I'm going to send in my ballot on.
Math was never my specialty, Bert. How many Elvis stamps are there?
There are 2. There is the young Elvis and the Elvis, the bloated Elvis. Not beloved. There's the beloved Elvis and the bloated Elvis.
Just checking. 2 minutes left to go here in round 7. And the jab of Pat Lawlor continues to get in.
This is fungal practice.
Well, he's able to land pretty much whatever he wants, and Tony Biglen isn't. It's that simple. Again, the right hand by Lawlor. Now, even though we're joking a little bit about some things here, should Pat Lawlor, for his own marketability, go out to try and knock this guy out?
I don't know if it's in him. Pat Lawlor, I think, prides himself on coming out of a fight unscathed and unmarked. It looks like he's going to go that way.
It's a good goal.
I think it's exciting.
It's not a bad goal. Doesn't make for the most thrilling action.
And here are the Lawlor fans again, picking up in crescendo their Lawlor cheers.
This, of course, would be Pat Lawlor country, not far from San Francisco, where he is a very popular figure and has had matches in which he has packed the house, as they say. Had an exhibition with Roberto Duran at one point before he fought Duran that put a lot of people in the seats.
Biglen there trying to get in, almost did an air step just to hurry through to miss another punch.
Well, he is not cutting off the ring. He's following Lawlor around the ring, and that's part of his problem.
I think the bigger part of his problem is Lawlor.
Well, once he gets there, he's not doing too well either. But
sometimes Lawlor has put so much air between them that Biglen couldn't hire a cab to get to Lawlor.
Winding down in round 7.
Biglen landed 2 punches and took 1 in return. It was the first time he's put 2 together. I don't want to get melodramatic about this. It's not a breakthrough.
A small breakthrough, perhaps. Round 7 is history. And Tony Biglen a little discouraged heading back to his corner, and why not? Because there's been action throughout this bout, like this. Pat Lawlor able to land the good uppercut, and then there will be those moments you talked about at the end for Biglen.
1, 2. I saw a second punch, but then he got nailed for his efforts.
And we peek into the corner of Tony Biglen, who has pretty much lost every round in this bout. I think it would be shocking if he won one.
Punches on the inside, right? You're not tired. Put some hate into that.
And Lawlor's percentage of jabs landing is remarkable, 85% in round 7, 17 of 20.
This would engender, 17 or 20 would engender cries in the 20s of break up the Yankees.
That's about true.
Do you think anybody's going to be hollering break up Lawlor?
I don't think so. There may be some junior middleweight or middleweight contenders that can still sleep at night. A few. We're in round 8. But it's been a good performance by Lawlor.
Oh, it's been fun for Lawlor.
And for Lawlor, yeah.
I'm not sure for Biglen if he's having a heck of a lot. I think there are places he'd rather be now.
Yeah, that's probably true. We're in round 8. It is scheduled for 10. It is showing every single sign that is how long it's going. And in truth, for everyone's sake, it'd probably be better if Pat Lawlor could do something and score a knockout, because Tony Biglen just doesn't appear to have the wherewithal to do anything meaningful in this bout.
Well, so far his best punch has been a right jaw to the left glove,
which doesn't help him.
Don't we give points for that?
No. Close to the halfway mark in round 8.
Doesn't time fly when you're having fun?
So I teach people that bullet. Irish Pat Lawlor appropriately in the green, Tony Biglen in the blue. And
no, Tony Biglen in the blue and red face.
It has been that kind of fight here. Be easy for the referee to work on.
I didn't even notice there was a referee in the ring.
Yeah.
In fact, the referee's cutting off the ring more effectively than Biglen.
So that's true. And even when he's inside, as we see Biglen have a real hard time getting through to Lawlor. You know, it's not for lack of trying. Tony Biglen is coming forward, he's throwing punches, but
he's a man of limited skills.
Yeah, he's really not able to match Lawlor in terms of the skill level and power and all the rest.
I mean, I've seen great fighters, but Biglen is not going to qualify as one.
No, obviously not.
not sure. Lawlor will, but he is slick, he is world class, and basically he's just showing his repertoire.
Yeah, we've seen pretty much all of what you normally see in a Pat Lawlor bout in which he is doing well. And there you see Biglen finally going to the body.
And 4 punches, and Lawlor laughs. Well, that should help Biglen's frame of mind.
We're winding down here in round 8. It is much like the last 7. And then they ended with Pat Lawlor landing some more punches. And we will
Put your legs out here. Breathe deep.
take a peek into Pat Lawlor's corner. Let's listen.
Tony, you're not punching him. If you had him over here in the corner, that's what I want. You was busting him up over there, but you ain't doing enough of that. You got 2 rounds left. The only chance you got now is to bust this guy up. You just got to go in there and get it, all right? But you got to throw punches to do it. Bryce, this is the
And
last
we
2 rounds.
switch into Tony Biglen's corner.
2 more rounds.
Yeah, let's see.
Green, the other way.
Keep jabbing, right? You're doing a good thing.
And for a punch update, really extraordinary difference for Pat Lawlor and Biglen.
Well, Lawlor's thrown 472 punches. Biglen's thrown almost as many, 457. The discrepancy is Lawlor's landed 255 or 54%. Biglen has landed all of 68, 6'8", 15%.
So the fight stats totals show us that Pat Lawlor is doing what we see him doing, and that is pretty much dominating this entire match.
I don't think the judges are going to have a difficult time with this, Al. This is not one of those Nevada decisions that's going to surprise anybody.
The only question here is whether they scored it a shutout. That's really the
Good
only
right hand.
Biglen gets there with the right.
Last time he had him in the corner last round, Biglen went to the body, landed 4. This time he landed 1 right hand to the head. Could it be that Lawlor is tiring, or that Biglen has found the way to get in, or what happened?
Well, I think Biglen got in there and threw some punches, and as you say, Lawlor may be getting a little bit fatigued. And also he knows Biglen isn't going to hurt him, so he may just be letting those punches come. Again, the jab by Lawlor. Well, it's been an effective, though not necessarily thrilling, performance by Pat Lawlor. He has certainly done what he needed to do here to win this match.
You know, sometimes in baseball, a no-hitter is effective. It's not all that thrilling until you tote up the lack of hits.
No, no-hitter's thrilling. It's different than this. I have to disagree. A no-hitter can be thrilling. This is not.
I saw people walk out of Don Larson's perfect game.
No, don't say
yes.
that. You knucklehead. You're kidding.
There are some people who just believe no-hitters are not thrilling. Home run derbies.
We're going to differ with them.
I'll find all of them.
Minute left to go here in round 9, and it's almost a no-hitter for Pat Lawlor because so few punches have gotten there from Biglen. Is there any reason for Pat Lawlor to go after him at this point, to really try for a knockout?
Not unless he sees something in Biglen that looks like he's flagging or hurt. And those moments came 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th rounds. They haven't come of recent vintage. Maybe Biglen is on a mission now. He just got hit by a beautiful left on that mission.
Stunned momentarily is Tony Biglen. He continues to come forward.
And that's not Mission, California, which is in San Francisco.
No, it wouldn't be. Final seconds in round 9. We have 1 more left to go in this junior middleweight encounter. Biglen getting in with some shots as he has Lawlor against the ropes. That'll do it for the 9th round.
I'll get it. All right. That's last round. All right. Let's move around. You got the fight. Well, don't get careless.
Tony Biglen in the last round, who actually did have his moments, Bert.
I think so. I think if you really wanted to give him something for effort, you would have to give him that round. Just sort of a thank you for showing up and giving us, at least in given moments, particularly this one, a competitive fight.
Well, he has tried, as you take a look at Biglen, getting cranked with that left hook. He has had, certainly given a good effort here. It's just that he hasn't been up to the task. And here we take a look again at him getting cracked with another left hand. That one kind of missed, and Biglen kept active as he had him in the corner. And we've reached the 10th and final round of this one. And there are the two combatants, a couple of junior middleweights who I know from Tony Biglen's standpoint will be happy to see this one end.
That was as close as we've seen in that last round now to the brawling Biglen, and now he's trying to throw him around, that we were promised before the fight.
Well, and that he wanted to get in and do. Now, some of that may be Lawlor moving just a little bit less. Biglen's doing something now he didn't do earlier, and that is double jabbing his way in and then getting Lawlor in the corner.
And he is following him still, but it's a little bit more effective following.
Because of the jab, because of the double and triple jab.
He's staying on top of him.
Got hit with a big right hand, did Biglen, in that exchange. So Pat Lawlor looks like he is marching easily to his 18th victory as a pro.
There's no quit in Biglen. It's just that his best effort wasn't good enough.
And with about a half the round left to go here in round 10. You also have to wonder about Tony Biglen at age 32. He has to know at this point he's not going to be able to probably fight the top junior middleweights and middleweights. And this may be the barometer that told him that for sure. He is wailing away here.
And yet very few of those hit, truth to tell.
Nothing really strong, and Lawlor lands the jab. Pat Lawlor is allowing himself, though, Bert, to be cornered more than he was early in the bout.
It might just be that he's tired. I mean, 10 rounds. He's put on an exhibition, and he figures it's mine. And in 56, 55 seconds, it will be his.
It would take some kind of act of God for Pat Lawlor to lose this bout. I don't think one is in the offing.
I think Pat Lawlor sold advertisements to as many people as he could. He's got a radio station's symbol on his back. He's got the American flag. He looks like an Indy car in there.
Not too much room left for any more advertisements. And mercifully for John Biglen, or Tony Biglen, excuse me, this one is ending, and it ends punctuated by a nice combination by Pat Lawlor. So Pat Lawlor will get himself another win here. What it does for his status in the junior middleweight division, that is another question. So that does it. 10 rounds have finished. Irish Pat Lawlor and Tony Biglen, and for all the world, it looks like not that man, but that man, Pat Lawlor, has notched another professional victory. Well, for Pat Lawlor, it was a unanimous decision win, no doubt about that. He gets his 18th win as a professional and keeps marching on toward what he hopes is contention in his division. And we are very, very close to the moment that we've all been waiting for.